and welcome to Tabletop 24, and thank you for joining us for the fourth unboxing of the starter decks for the One Piece card game. This one is the Animal Kingdom Pirates. This is the last of the base starter decks that came out, and apparently it's quite a bit of an interesting one. So we're going to get straight in there, and we're going to probably see exactly as we would expect if you've seen the other videos, a rule sheet, which is there, which will give you a breakdown of the rules and how to play, and on the other side you have got a play map showing you the areas to play into. We've got our insert and our deck. As always, I've said on these, which is interesting, this is banded a different way, which is quite interesting. The others were banded the other way. The card stock for this game is absolutely fantastic. It's really heavy and dense, so it's a bit different to most games we've played. First off, we have got our Don cards, which are going to be useful for paying for cards as we go. And we have our leader, Kaido. So Kaido is 5,000 power, activate main once per turn, Don equals 7. So returning 7 Don cards from your field to your Don deck, trash 1 of your opponent's life cards. That's quite powerful, and at the end of the game, it'd just be an auto sort of knockout. Then we have 2 copies of Kaido as a card with 9 cost, 10,000 power. On play, Don equals 5. You may return 5 Don cards from your field to your Don deck. KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. This character gains rush during this turn. So that's really powerful. I mean, you're going to have to get the 9 cost curve on this, but late game, it's just going to overpower anybody. So we have King, 6 cost, 7,000 power. On play, Don for 1, returning 1 Don. You can KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So it's going to do a lot of power hitting in this deck, I think. Then we have got a Ulti, which is 4 cost, 5,000 power with a counter of 2,000. On play, Don -1, and play 1 page 1 card with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. So that's quite nice. We've got 2 copies of Queen, 5 cost, 6,000 power, and it's a blocker, and on play -1 Don. And you can draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. So a bit of a draw engine there from Queen. 4 copies, of Sasaki, which is 3 cost, 4,000 power with a counter of 1,000. On play, Don -1 to draw a card. Okay, it's really a lot of effects going on our Don deck. 4 copies of Sheepshed, 2 cost, 4,000 power with a counter of 1,000. So fairly bog standard character. Then we've got 2 copies of Jack, 3 cost, 4,000 power. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, add 1 card from your Don deck, and set it as active. So whilst we're spending those Don cards, we're going to be getting this back, and it does have counter 1 on it. Then we've got 4 copies of Jin Rummy, which is going to be 1 cost, 3,000 power, counter of 1. Again, that sort of standard slot. 2 copies of Who's Who, 3 cost, 3,000 power. On play, Don -1. KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less, with a trigger effect of playing this card. So again, really affecting your opponent's characters that are out on board. So we've got 4 copies of Black Mariah, 2 cost, 2,000, counters 1 with a blocker. Okay, so slightly different to what we've seen in the other decks, which we normally have that 1 cost blocker. This has got the 2 cost blocker, so slightly higher curve there. Then we've got 4 copies of page 1, straight up, 4 cost, 6,000 power, 1,000 counter. So fairly standard. Then we've got 4 copies of X Drake, which is a 3 cost, 5,000 power with a counter of 1,000. Then we have 2 copies of Lead Performer Disaster, which is 4 cost, main, draw 1 card, and then add 1 card from your Don deck and set it as active, triggering in this ability on the health. So that's going to be quite useful. Again, getting those Don cards back out. If we're not seeing a lot of those Don cards coming out early, maybe we're going to be quite struggling to be putting them back on our deck. 2 copies of Braccio Bomber, 6 cost, main, KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less, then add 1 Don card from your Don deck and set it as active. Trigger, add 1 Don card from your Don deck and set it as active. So again, we'll probably want to see those triggering rather than having to play them, just to get those extra Don cards out. Then we have got 4 copies of Blast Breath, which is a 1 cost counter with a Don -1. Your leader or one of your characters gets plus 4,000 during this battle. So quite cheap, but it is going to cost you a Don card on the field. So this is falling into our sort of control range deck. Finally, we have got 4 copies of Onigashima Island, which is 3 cost. Activate main, you may rest this stage. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates type, add 1 Don card from your Don deck and rest it. This is going to be key to your deck, I think. Without this, you're not going to be able to activate most of your abilities. If these end up getting put in your life pool, I think you're going to have a really rough time. So I think they're going to be key. Possibly, this has got a lot of power to it, but the risk reward without some better cards from the set might hurt it. But that's my opinion, and we'll have to see once I get this to the table. So thank you for joining us for this TCG unboxing. If you haven't done so already, check out the videos on the channel, give us a like and a subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Take care.